Hi everyone. Today I will talk about the song of Taylor Swift, Willow. You know what I mean? This is the first time you will understand the meaning of the song. You know what I mean? You got me? The song belongs to the album Evermore. You know what I mean? The album Evermore of Taylor Swift is about me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I mean? She did the album after she met me. I met her in 2020. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift. And if you're wondering or thinking about how you know what I mean, I'm in a relationship with Taylor Swift, I will tell you now. I send her messages and videos in Instagram. And she doesn't reply to me directly. She doesn't do seen to my messages. She see my messages in Instagram. No, she doesn't do that. She replies to me indirectly in stories, publications. She's interacting with her fans. You know what I mean? But in the same time, something between me and her, she's sending that in stories and publications. And also music and so on. You know what I mean? And I was talking to her from 2020, 5 years now. You know what I mean? You got me? So, if you will go, you know what I mean? And try to see, you know what I mean, my phone and see what I'm sending, you will find vocals of me from 2020 and until 2025. You'll find vocals, I'm sending her messages. You know what I mean? Messages, vocals, videos, I'm sending her. And you will not find single word from Taylor Swift. No. You know what I mean? No. She's not sending me anything. Just me talking. You know what I mean? Talking. And she's communicating with me through stories and publications, not through messages. You know what I mean? So, for example, let's say she will tell me something. Let's say she will tell me I love you in story. For example, you know what I mean? Let's say, for example, she's doing this color, red color. It's the color between me and her. You know what I mean? She's doing red color. You know what I mean? And she's saying, I love you in a way, and there's red color, so the message I love you, me. You know what I mean? Jesus. You know what I mean? What I will do is, I will go to her, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Account, and sending her, you know what I mean? A message. You know what I mean? You got me in Instagram. Send her a message. I love you too. You know what I mean? So you'll come to you'll find I love you too. You will think, I love you too. What is this? And you'll find I'm talking about something she did. What is, because she's not responding, you will be like, think this is strange. She's responding in publications, stories. You know what I mean? That's it. So that's how I communicate with my Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? And those famous girls, many famous girls. You know what I mean? Many famous girls, I communicate with them like this. You know what I mean? So today I will talk about Willow. You know what I mean? The lyrics, the video, you will understand, because that song, it's about me. And the album Evermore, it's about me. But the song and the video clip and song in general, it's about me. You know what I mean? You got me? What I mean? So yeah, the first time I sent her, it's in 2020. Yeah, that's the thing. And before I start explaining, you know what I mean, the video and so on, I should tell you something so important. You know what I mean? You should understand an idea. An idea, I just, you know what I mean, created. You got me? And I told Taylor Swift, this is between me and you, in regard love. You know what I mean? Something. Got me? Invisible string idea. You know what I mean? Invisible string idea. You know what I mean? This is a song. In fact, it's a song of Taylor Swift. But I took that idea. You know what I mean? And I told Taylor Swift, this has to do with our love. You know what I mean? It has to do with our love. Invisible string. From 2020, I did that. You know what I mean? I did that in 2020. Invisible string shows our love. Something specific, something unique between me and you. Not Dua Lipa, not Paris Hilton, not Miley Cyrus, just me and you. You know what I mean? Something unique. Invisible string. What is invisible string idea in regard our love? What is? Listen to me. You have to remember this. Invisible string describe something relates me with Tyler from the day that she born and from the day that I born. That's the thing. You know what I mean? You got me? You know what I mean? Something relates me with her from the day that she was born and me too. You know what I mean? I was born. And guided that love. Guide the love. You know what I mean? And listen carefully. Everything she does and everything I do serves that love. From the day that she was born and I was born. You see this? From the day that she was born, everything she does in her life. You know what I mean? Everything she does in her life. You know what I mean? Even either music or I mean with her family, everything serves the love that's between me and her. That's idea, you know what I mean? You got me, invisible strength, you know what I mean? That's the idea that you got me, I create. You could say I say create because it's known invisible strength, but me I added some you know what I mean? Some meanings on that, you know what I mean? Wait a second. So that's the meaning that I added, you know what I mean? You got me on invisible strength love because I relate that with our love, you know what I mean? You got me? So that's between me and her, and I will show you in the end of this video some messages, you know what I mean? From 2020, I talk about, you know what I mean? I will show you how, I mean, many times I said invisible strength, you know what I mean? And from 2020, I was talking to her about invisible strength in regard, you know what I mean? Our love. So that's about invisible strength because you should understand that because it's related with the song Willow. So yeah, so that's about that. Now Willow, you know what I mean? Willow, I mean, the name of the song Willow, you know what I mean? It has to do with something I told Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? What is the thing? Bruce Lee quote. Bruce Lee quote, it's talking about that, I mean the meaning of his quote. He's talking about that the tree, it's easily broken by the wind because it's fixed, it's rigid, it's fixed. But willow, it's adaptable. You know what I mean? With the wind, it doesn't get broken easily. You know what I mean? It doesn't get broken. You know what I mean? So that's willow. So there is a quote. Bruce Lee is talking about that. So I told her that, and you know what I mean? I explained the idea of adapting and so on, and flexibility and so on. And she likes the idea, you know what I mean? You got me? And by the way, willow, I mean, as part of nature, it represents our love too, you know what I mean? Got me? To me. So when, for example, she see, for example, willow, she go to some place and see willow, that's our love. Or, for example, let's say she posts willow, that's part of our love. You know what I mean? Shows, represent love, shows love, you know what I mean? So I explained the idea to her, you know what I mean? And she liked the idea, you know what I mean? And she chose it as the name of her song, you know what I mean? Willow. But what is the song about? We want to know, you know what I mean? You got me? The topic of the song, Willow. You know what I mean? Willow song. It's about our Jesus stories love that I have with her. Jesus stories love. That love that I explained to you now, I talked to her in vocals, videos, and she replied to me indirectly in stories, publication. It's about that love. That, you know what I mean? You got me? I invent with her. I create with her. It's something new she discovered in her life, or she experienced in her life. You know what I mean? There's interaction that I have with her. You know what I mean? You got me? So it's about that, and also about Tyler discovering the first time in her life direction. It's like me, I'm leading her. You know what I mean? I'm leading her. I'm leading Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? She's discovering direction. You know what I mean? I'm guiding her. You know what I mean? That's Willow. You know what I mean? So the love and the me, I'm guiding her and I'm showing her direction to just, yeah, take. So yeah, we'll talk now about the video. You know what I mean? The video. So the video, the first thing about the video, she started from what she did in song Cardigan. Cardigan. You know what I mean? You got me? You know what I mean? And everyone knows, he's talking about that, many people, that Cardigan, it's about Joe Alwyn, the actor, that she was with him in a relationship, Joe Alwyn. So, Cardigan, you know what I mean? She started from that box. There is a box, you know what I mean? Box, and you will see strength, you know what I mean? Strength in orange, strength, you know what I mean? What is the message here? So, the first thing in the video that she wants to say that she started with me from, you know what I mean? From Joe Alwyn. It's like Joe Alwyn was here and me, you know what I mean? He was the end, Joe Alwyn the end. It's like, this is Joe Alwyn now. After Joe Alwyn, this there is me, you know what I mean? She started after Joe Alwyn, you know what I mean? You got me? And yeah, you know what I mean? So that's the first thing. You see the box, you see the string. The string has to do with the invisible string idea. You know what I mean? The string, you see the thing, the invisible string that I explained, you know what I mean? You got me? That, you know what I mean? Everything, you know what I mean, relates me with her in regard love, and everything she does and everything between me and her from the past, you know what I mean, has to do with our love and everything. That's the string. Another thing, she's looking at the water and there is that guy and her. So the guy symbolizes, you know what I mean, her lover, you know what I mean, me, you know what I mean, me. So she's looking, you know what I mean, she's looking at the water, you know what I mean, she's looking at the water. What is the message here? The invisible string idea, you know what I mean, we're distant. She's looking at the water like this, you know what I mean, you got me, you know what I mean, like this at the water, and you know what I mean, she see herself, you know what I mean, you got me, with me in that water. So the invisible string idea, we're distant, you know what I mean, we're distant to be together, you know what I mean. Something else also, the kids, you know what I mean, you will see a little girl and a little boy, you know what I mean, in that place in the video. What is the message here? The invisible string idea, you know what I mean, you got me, you know what I mean, we're distant from the beginning, you know what I mean. She was, from the day that she was born, she's distant to be with me and to experience with me this love story. Yeah, you will find her inside a box of glass. A box of glass, you know what I mean? And she's watching like this. She's looking like this. What is the message here? Box of glass, and she's looking like this in the box. What is the message here? She's stunned by the Jesus stories communication and what I did with her, or I make her experience with me. That communication, you know what I mean? What I'm doing, I'm talking to her and she's replying to me in stories and so on. She's stunned by that, you know what I mean? She's like, what is this? What is this Jesus stories? What is this? She's stunned by that. And also, you'll find, you know what I mean? You'll find, you know what I mean? She's in the glass, you know what I mean? She's, you know what I mean? She's in that box of glass, you know what I mean? I mean, in that box of glass, she's inside, and the guy will come, I mean me, you know what I mean? And there is the glass as obstacle, What is that? You know what I mean? She's inside that glass, you know what I mean? And there is the glass as obstacle. What is that? It shows that she can't reply to me directly. You know what I mean? There is that glass obstacle, you know what I mean? So it shows Jesus stories communication, how we interact. She doesn't reply to me directly. She can't meet me, you know what I mean? She can't talk to me directly, like, hi, how are you? She can't. There's that glass, you know what I mean? But in the same time, she's interaction with me. Yeah, what else? Yeah, after that, you know what I mean? The scene of the box of the glass, you will see many people, and there is orange balls up. You know what I mean? They're going up. What is that? That shows the social media interaction. You know what I mean? People, their interaction in social media. And she's part of that. She's interaction. You know what I mean? She's interaction in social media. You know what I mean? You got me, what I mean? She's interaction in social media, and there is people interaction. But she will follow the string. The string you see in the ground, orange string, she will follow that. That shows that me and her, you know what I mean? We're interacting in a way inside that social media. You know what I mean? So inside that social media, that there is posts of publications and, you know what I mean, communication, people, they talk about this and she's talking about that. There is a hidden interaction between me and her. You know what I mean? Hidden interaction between me and her. You know what I mean? And you will see in the lyrics, you will understand that. You know what I mean? There is hidden interaction. That she will follow the string, like that interaction between me and her. And she choose magic. Why she choose magic in Willow? To show that what I'm doing, Jesus story, is something magical. What I'm doing, it's something unique, different, magical. Which I mean, that's why she choose, you know what I mean, magic, to express the idea of Jesus stories communication. Yeah, and you'll find clapping. That proves the idea of social media. When there's balls, someone will clap, like to show the idea of social media. Now, that's about, you know what I mean? That's about the video. You know what I mean? Now we'll see, yeah, the lyrics. You know what I mean? The lyrics of the song. You know what I mean? So yeah, So we'll start by, she's saying, I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. You know what I mean? I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. She's talking about what? What? I'm leading her in her life. You know what I mean? I'm leading her. You know what I mean? I'm leading her. You got me? I'm leading her. I'm taking her in some direction. You know what I mean? I'm taking her in some direction. You got me? I'm like the water when your ship. Why? Why? Because the ship shows the ship going to some direction. The ship is going to some direction. So you know what I mean? So I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. So it's like with me, she discovered some path. You know what I mean? To take. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's, you know what I mean? The meaning. You know what I mean? So rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. Rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. It's very difficult to control Taylor Swift, you know what I mean, because of the ego, you know what I mean, and the idea of feminism, you know what I mean. You know, girls, you know, she's powerful, she's famous, Taylor Swift. It's very difficult to control her, you know what I mean, to take her to some direction. It's very difficult, but I did it. That's the message. I did it. Rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. And if it was an open shut case, what is the message here? And if it was an open shut case, I did it easily. I mean, it was easily. You know what I mean? You got me? What I mean? I mean, the way that I control her, it was easy thing. You know what I mean? She's saying, lost in your current like a priceless wine. What is the message here? This is absolutely powerful. You know what I mean? Absolutely powerful. You know what I mean? Lost. You know what I mean? Lost in your current like a priceless wine. What is the message here? She's talking about Joe Alwyn relationship. She was in relationship with Joe Alwyn, and me, I took her by surprise. You know what I mean? You got me? Lost in your current like priceless wine. She was in a relationship, and me, I took her by surprise. The more that you say, the less I know. What is the message here? I'm teaching her. Me, all the time, I come to her in Instagram, tell her an idea about something, I teach her things. You know what I mean? I teach her. So the more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I lead her. You know what I mean? You got me? I lead her. I'm begging you to take my hand. You know what I mean? You got me? She wants me to lead her. Wreck my plans. What is the message here? Wreck my plans. She's independent. You know what I mean? And she wants me to change her. Wreck my plans. She's independent. You know what I mean? She has plans. You know what I mean? For herself. She has plans. But she wants me, you know what I mean? To change her. You know what I mean? Wreck my plans. That's my man. Life was a willow and it's bent right to your wind. You know what I mean? Life was a willow and it's bent right to your wind. What is the message here? In her life, you know what I mean? She was like, you could say lost or something, in a way that she didn't had direction. You know what I mean? Life was a willow, You know what I mean? She didn't had some direction. You know what I mean? And it's bent right to your wind. So she followed my direction. She didn't have direction in her life in the past. And suddenly, me, I come. She, you know what I mean? Followed my direction. Head on the pillow, I could feel you sneaking in. What is the message here? Head on the pillow, I could feel you sneaking in. She's listening to me. You know what I mean? When she's chilling, she's listening to me. Head, this is proof. This story's case. This story's thing. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Head on the pillow, I could feel you sneaking in. She's listening to me when she's chilling. She's chilling. You know what I mean? You got me? What I mean? As if you were a mythical thing. Those two lines proves these stories. What I'm doing. You know what I mean? So head on the pillow, I could feel you sneaking in, as if you were a mythical thing. So she's talking about when she's listening to me. You know what I mean? And me, I'm not with her and I'm talking to her in Instagram 2 hours. You know what I mean? And she listen to me, not directly. She doesn't do scene to my messages, you know what I mean? So it's like a secret, you know what I mean? It's like something, you know what I mean, not in the surface known, and she's listening to me, you know what I mean? You got me? And she interacts with me, you know what I mean, in stories, and you know what I mean? It's like a mythical thing, you know what I mean? You got me? This Jesus stories interaction. Like you were a trophy or champion ring. Like you were a trophy or champion ring. What is the message here? The message is, she's talking about, she see me as a man with value. That's the message here. You know what I mean? A man with value. You know what I mean? Wait. You know what I mean? So she's saying like you were a trophy or champion ring. So, you know what I mean? She's telling me that you are a man with value. You know what I mean? You are valuable man. You are, you know what I mean? You have value. You know what I mean? And there was one prize I will cheat to win. You know what I mean? So this is a powerful message. She's talking about Joe Alwyn. You know what I mean? So she's saying, and there was one prize I will cheat to win. She had never cheated in her life. You know what I mean? But with me, she will cheat on Joe Alwyn. You know what I mean? She will cheat on Joe Alwyn, you know what I mean, to be with me. Because she was with him when I came, you know what I mean, to Taylor Swift. She was already with Joe Alwyn. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what she's saying. She's saying, you know that my train could take you home. You know that my train could take you home. Being with me, she's saying, being with me, the meaning, being with me is good thing. You know what I mean? It's good thing to be with me. Anywhere else is hollow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Something else. What's she? They count me out time and time again. They count me out time and time again. She's talking about in the past, you know what I mean? She didn't had successful relationship. She didn't had successful relationship. You know what I mean? They count me out time and time again. She didn't had the successful relationship. You know what I mean? But I come back stronger than 19 strand. But I come back stronger than 19 strand. With me, she becomes powerful. You know what I mean? She find the direction and she just feel with me powerful. You know what I mean? You got me in her feminine. You know what I mean? She's feeling like she's feminine with me and she found power. You know what I mean? She becomes powerful. Wait for the signal and I will meet you after dark. Wait for the signal and I will meet you after dark. What is the message here? She's talking about Jesus stories communication. Wait for the signal. I mean the signal. She sent me a message in story, in publication, in something. You know what I mean? You got me? She interacts with me. You know what I mean? And I will meet you after dark. Dark symbolizes that no one understands our interaction that's happening in social media. You know what I mean? You see a story or publication or Willow song, you listen to it or anything, and you don't understand the message that she's sending me. Because, not because you're stupid or something, but because you don't know that me, I'm interacting with her. And you don't know anything about our interaction. You know what I mean? So, that's the thing. Wait for the signal and I will meet you after dark. Yeah, you know what I mean? And she's saying now this is an open shut case. So she's saying like it's easy to be seduced by me. You know what I mean? Now it's easy to seduce. Seducing her. It's happening. Not difficult. You know what I mean? It's like to be with her, to seduce her. It's something easy. You know what I mean? To happen. You know what I mean? It's like she's complimenting me. You know what I mean? She's giving me compliments. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every bait and switch was a work of art. This shows now. Every bait and switch was a work of art. She's talking about seduction. You know what I mean? Seduction. Every bait and switch was a work of art. I mean, what I'm doing, seduction. I'm coach of seduction. I do techniques to seduce her. So she's saying was a work of art. So that's you know what I mean? That's the song, you know what I mean? Willow, you know what I mean? And the song, as I said, it's about me, you know what I mean? I want you to share this with everyone because this is the truth, you know what I mean? This is the truth, you know what I mean? So if you love Taylor Swift, you know what I mean? You should be part of that process that will what Taylor Swift doing known. You know what I mean? You will make what Taylor Swift doing, and you should be like interested, you know what I mean, in the things that she's interested in, and you show her that you understand her and everything, you know what I mean? You got me? You show your lover that you understand her and everything, and also you show people the lover of Taylor Swift, me, you know what I mean? You got me? You should just know the truth, and also know the truth about what's happening. I mean, what's happening? I mean, how can this fucking romantic love, you know what I mean? You don't know anything about it, you know what I mean? It's the best romantic love in history, you know what I mean? This was happening, you know what I mean? You got me? And I'm proud of that, you know what I mean? You got me? And I'm so happy with her, and I love her so much. Yeah, you know what I mean? And yeah, let's just keep going in this journey of Jesus stories, and yeah, see you in other videos. Take care.